Anyone else?
Yes.
There are others. Lucky, questions? Start.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Swati and my moderator is M. Srinivasan. Today I'll be presenting on parenting styles. Parenting style is a set of strategies that the parent uses to raise their kid, and the style employed has a significant impact on the behavior the child learns and their personality development. Types of parenting, it was classified by Diana Bompton, and it was based on two things: warmth, which is affection, care, or responsiveness, that is the love the parents have for their kids, and control means authority. So there were of four types: authoritarian parenting, authoritative or democratic parenting, permissive or indulgent parenting, uninvolved or neglectful parenting. Authoritarian parenting, which means high control and low warmth. It is actually they are demanding parents and they have low responsiveness or low love. Parents establish strict rules and they expect their children to follow the rules and does not explain why the rules should be obeyed. Might tell the children to do so because they told to do so. Are controlling, power oriented, and demand obedience without considering the child's point of view, and use punishment more than reinforcement. The child, on the other hand, authoritarian parenting, they are high control and low power, low warmth. Parents establish strict rules and expect their children to follow the rules, does not explain why the rule should be obeyed, might tell the children to do so to do something because they told to do so, are controlling, power oriented, and demand obedience without considering the child's point of view, use punishment more than reinforcement. Effect on children. Child are not allowed to question rules, are anxious, withdrawn, and unhappy. They suppress their emotions, are obedient, do work as their duty, and avoid making their parents unhappy. Children will have inability to form their own opinions and thoughts. This is an authoritarian parenting, which is high control and low warmth, which is the parents are demanding and they are cold and unresponsive. They are strict parents, and if the child would cry, they would tell them to stop. If the child would yield, then they are told for timeout. If the child forgets to do the chores, then as a punishment her toys are taken away. Gradually the child learns to suppress their emotion and do work as their duty. They avoid making their parents unhappy. Since they were not allowed to decide for themselves and pursue their self-interest, as an adult, they do not know what to do, and they might live a life which is perfect according to the parents and to the society, but which might leave them unhappy on the inside. Authoritative parenting, which is high warmth and high control. Parents establish rules but allow situational exception to the rules, consider child's feeling when creating and reinforcing the rules, and discuss rules with them so that they understand. They use a combination of punishment and reinforcement. Effect on their children are that they are expected to follow the rules but can question the rules and discuss them with their parents, are encouraged to problem solving and make mistake in order to learn, and trained to become responsible decision makers and independent. Here it is high warmth, that is high love and high control. The parents they allow freedom within the limits. If the child wants to play, then he is allowed to play, but he has to like clean up the mess when he's done. He can eat ice cream only on the Sunday. He's allowed to have a limited screen time. There might be conflict between the parent and the children, but the parent listen to the child and explain them whether they are right or wrong. Gradually, the child learns that some things are difficult, but he get all the strength that he needs to overcome it. And the child excels academically. They can pursue their self-interest. As an adult, they agree to rule only after they have been discussed and feels that they understand. Permissive parenting, it is
Authoritarian and authoritative.
sir, authoritarian में strict rules होते हैं and there will be no exception, like rules are rules. Like authoritative में there are exception to the rules, like if the child wants कि tomorrow is weekend so I can stay up like थोड़ा late, so he can ask from his parents and the parents will be like okay 10 minutes more but not उसके बाद. So there are मतलब थोड़ा मतलब rules में थोड़ी there is leniency or there is exception while उसमें rules are. Permissive parenting, which is high warmth and low control. Here, the parents have no firm rules and they are lenient. They fulfill all the demands and give full freedom, and they act more like a friend rather than a parent. Effect on the children are that they are allowed to do whatever they want. They grow up with no respect for the authority. They often struggle academically. They are irresponsible, lack self-control, and are immature. They tend to make poor life choices because they have been raised with no guidance. Here the child fulfill all his wishes. Here the parents fulfill all his wishes, and they are given all the freedom they want. If the child don't want to walk, he'll be carried. He can his all demands are fulfilled. He can have unlimited screen time. As a result, the child thinks whatever he did is right. And since they have never coped with conflict, they loses their self-control when someone argues with them. Uninvolved parenting, which is low control and low warmth. Parents are neglectful but fulfill the child's basic need, that is food, water, and shelter. May be overwhelmed by the other life problem and ignore their children, often do not know what their children are doing, and do not have many rules or expectations because they expect their children to raise themselves. Effect on the children are that their low self-esteem, lack discipline, tend to make poor life choices. They have increasing risk of substance abuse. They struggle academically and lack trust in themselves and in others. Here there is like a low control and low warmth, means cold and unresponsiveness. The parents are neglectful for their children and the child feels all alone. The child have freedom to do whatever he wants, and like they have a plenty of imagination, but they do not get the right feedback from their parents. As a result, the child realizes that no matter whatever she do, no one cares, and this lack of like attention will lead to lack of trust in herself and the others. She becomes like insecure, and they have a negative image of themselves. And over the time, they feel like they are unworthy of love. This over-involved parenting has been like recently added, and here the parents are strict like authoritative, but they involve themselves in every aspect of their child's life. They are overprotecting, over-controlling, and over-perfecting. They are like helicopter parents, which like to hover over and micromanage every aspect of their child's life. And the children can't overcome the challenges by themselves. They lack perseverance and often procrastinate. So here, this is over-involved parenting, where the parents they remove all the struggle, like all the hurdles from their child's life. They are like helicopter parents which try to micromanage every aspect of their child's life. Gradually, the child do not like the things uh, which requires a lot of effort, and they like to procrastinate a lot.
Helicopter parenting.
Like over parenting, over involved parenting. Now here is a summary. Here is a summary telling how a parenting style will lead to the resultant child behavior. This is authoritarian parenting, which are like rigid and they have strict rules. And the children are unsocial, unfriendly, and withdrawn. Like if you do not clean your room, I'll take away your cell phone, which they like to give punishment rather than reinforcement. Permissive parenting are lax and lenient with no rules, and children are immature, moody, dependent, and low self-control. Like example, it might be good to clean your room. Authoritative parenting, they're like firm, they set limit and goals and encourage independence. You can go to your friend's house only after you clean your room. And the child's behavior is good social skill. They are like self-reliant and independent. Uninvolved parenting is that they are detached emotionally and sees role only in providing food, shelter, and clothing. That is the basic need of the child. And here the child is indifferent, undisciplined, and they have rejecting behavior. Like I don't care if your room is messy. My references has been from Boomerang's Parenting Style by Ross Thompson and Diana Lang, and Better Parenting with Enneagrams by Anne Lar. Thank you.
So I think which is the best form of it?
Authoritative parenting, I think, is the best.
So strict rules, but
With the like exceptional.
why not lenient parenting?
So it's like the child is allowed with too much freedom. And since the child is small, like he's a mature, he will not do nothing. So whether he will get the right, like he's grown without it.
So lenient over involved in parenting.
So lenient means the child is grown without borders. Like
But warmth is there.
if parenting want is not there, they are motivated, but
Each of us.
we expect in our also is we can manage the schedule and the service and like the class or whatever. But like in make the schedule for the children. And like have all the school dates and all that. So like the micromanaging and the
Interestingly, parenting styles, whether it will be different in joint families, it shall be different, which is ideal parenting style will be same in joint families, bigger families, 3, 4 siblings, or a single child, like in Sar's case and my case. I don't know. I don't know the answer. So which will be the, if I look back, my parents were authoritative in some sense, and at times they became lenient, and at times they were old. So saying ki one kind of style they had is little difficult. I at one point of time used to educate parents that one should be authoritarian and one should be lenient. One parent should be very strict and one parent should be very lenient, so that child has the freedom to pick and choose. Subsequently, maintain the borders. But I feel after listening to the presentation, maybe I was wrong or something. What are your views about this? Parenting you feel is an ideal. See, ultimately, authoritarian is not. One thing is there, being emotionally cold and the neglect parenting is also, the two poles apart. Yes, everything is falling in between. So maybe when you see patient with OCD, OCPD, you will see authoritarian parenting, very straightforward, rigid parenting. But you said she shared very good practice.
So authoritative what it is like rules and like कि 9 बजे सोना है तो 9 बजे सोना है but authoritative में like 9 का 9:30 हो सकता है like over the weekends not daily but like over the weekends but फिर 9:30 का फिर 10 मिनट का हाँ warm किया
Just go back to first line, each and every card.
the
First line and only card. Cartoons of more and more. The thing that we studied is they should not be disciplined. So in joint family also grandparents have parents, they should give the same message to the child. The most problematic is that when the child does not say, he thinks that whatever message is getting from the adults, they would not work. Or he has a choice not to follow. If say, like in your example, if one parent says you have to clean your room and the other so he is getting the message, the child is getting the message that it is okay not to listen to that. So there there is a great conflict. So uniformity should be there among the parents. Also, like if they are extreme, like one parent is extremely authoritative, the other is say almost negligent, then the child does not think about the issues. Like I should follow the rules. He thinks that the parents are the problem. Like one parent will allow me everything, one parent will say no to everything. So he does not think about the task at hand. That this task is important. I have to do this. Rather, the people. So he will be more manipulative. Depending upon the people, not about the situation. Developing his own sense of right or wrong. So that is what we tell the parents also that, and if the joint family is also that there should be uniform. At the grandparents also they are usually they are permissive, they allow it. You tell them that you can carry on with that, but if the parents have set some rules, they should not encourage the patient to overcome or not to follow the rules. They can also know, I said this, you should take care of this. So that is one thing. Second is the age. So transition from child to adult. So there is a changing expectation or the change in behavior. In the person therapy, we see that if there is a change in growth, the person like teenagers, why parents have most problems
because they are still either treating them like children or they very say frequently they let them go and do everything. They can drive a car, they can do whatever. So they require supervision, like they require authoritative. They still some rules need to be set. They need to be monitored, and at the same time, you need to be less, you can say, authoritative. Like that. So, changing age also, the parenting style has to modify. How you treat your
So it has to be more fluid. So more of late, it should not be extreme. You be neglected, you lose neglected, you be absolutely authoritative. And it should be fluid.
1 to 3-year-old child, you have to be authoritative.
Yes.
Because there the child approach. Say child will go towards the electricity point, and there you have to decide everything. Then
When child के decision making में अच्छा होगा, then you have to be little more free. But as sir said, very importantly, consistency should be there. आज I allowed my child to go for a date, and then tomorrow I stop with my child. Today I give the child 4 hours of mobile, tomorrow I will stop the child. वहीं से अपने problem शुरू होता है. So my role should be consistent. It should be normally consistent. Parenting is the most difficult, I think, course in the world. Where there is no formal course. So it is, and there is no psychiatrist, parent, I'm clueless about parenting.
because you set rules and then your emotional state will differ. On a day that the parent is irritable, he strictly enforce the rule. On the day that he is lenient, he says, okay, do everything. So that you have to, like, for parenting, the parent first of all needs to take care of their own emotions, both negative and positive. Not allow children to do anything when they are happy or cheerful, and not to strictly enforce when they are irritable. So there should be consistency according to the situation, not according to their will. Like the child is running around, they are also happy, and when they are angry, then they will.
And like give that because they feel entitled allowing the child to break on the at times and not allowing mother to step in. And then all blame games would go on. And then child is smart enough to take advantage, ask a permission later. So their consistency needs to be there. And all of things we have shared, we still don't know like which module would work for a child. So it has to be more fluid, it has to be more consistent and more in sync.
Last thing I would like to say is parenting can only affect that much. Like, there's a lot of burden on the parents that if they don't parent, like it's like if they don't get it right, they will somehow spoil the child. The child himself or herself has some inherent personality tendency. He will gravitate towards that. So personality, such a parenting is not that is the only thing that decides how the child is going to be as a mother. So many times the parents we see of substance abuse parents, patients, and all, like they are good parents. They did their best. Still, their child went on a wrong path.
And the
Self-blame, guilt, etc. So parenting is one part, but it is not the deciding factor. Like we can see that their siblings, one sibling is like very good, following the good doing good life, other is antisocial. So then it is like some amount of genetic differentiation, individual choice. So that is also, it's not like parenting is everything. Parenting is like, let's say, one of the environmental factors, but it is not the only deciding. Even despite best parenting, somebody can go on to have a say personality disorder or disruptive. On the other hand, on a hostile parent also some people who grow and so that is also that we need to keep very good, very nice. Understood the subject. So that is why you choose the thing that you do. Very nice. So
you pose us to think.
This is not core psychiatry, by the way.
This is very important. Very, very important. Hopefully, we have a very simple, straightforward equation like solution.
Yes.
we can give to the patients.
Yeah,
ये
yes.
problem है, ये printing लो, ये problem है, ये printing लो.
It is like style. Form हो गया हमारे use हो गया. So plus minus. But like in normal day we see that people are changed. They have a parent can have a mood disorder, personality disorder, so their style of parenting will be that way.
Many psychiatrists have now come up saying that use narrative approaches, which is being taken away from our society. Where large joint families used to have that. You know, the kids used to sit with grandparents and hear stories, discuss, talking with gadgetization, modernization, those things are going away. So we're not discussing and talking with our kids. And the problems are coming up. And probably blaming parents, blame game, blame stories, or problem narratives are coming up. So it is important that we discuss and talk to our kids. Whatever stage they are, stage appropriate. So I think we felicitate the speaker for a very, very good presentation. And Dr. Asta, Dr. Swati, and Dr. Asta to the state of the Swati.
Stop. Stop.